Eric.
Hey, John.
How's it going tonight?
It is going. It's going, pretty well.
Okay.
Sorry we're a little late tonight.
Oh, it's all good. It's all
was,
good.
was, a little, trying to catch up to some other things today, but we're ready to go now.
Okay. All right.
How was your week?
Oh, my week was good. I think so Saturday, I don't know. I feel like I don't know where Saturday went. I mowed a lot. Like got on the tractor and spent. It's because it's coming into winter, and so this is the time of year that you get like one final. Like you have to how it ends September. You have to look at it for the next 6 months.
Yeah,
because I'm not getting the tractor kind of. Anyway, but so I don't even know where Saturday disappeared to.
Well, how many audiobooks did you get through? That'll tell you how long you were on the tractor.
Yeah, right. No, it wasn't that long. It was just a few hours probably. But yeah, I totally listen. That's exactly what I do, right? I either ironically YouTube videos, just listening. It's essentially a podcast or audiobooks. Anyway. And then what else? Oh, we also went up and checked out the PCC campus.
Okay.
Just because, like, I don't know, we were doing some logistic stuff for my son. And then, but then Sunday, I forget if I said last week that I went fishing Sunday. So I, got up at 4:45.
Yeah.
And we were on the Columbia before it started getting light. And I had a great day. We did not keep any fish. There was one silver or coho that one of the guys caught. There were 3 of us and then a couple of kids fishing.
Okay.
And then and there was one silver that we got to the boat, but it was a native, so it didn't have its adipose fin clip.
So you had to throw it back.
You're not allowed to keep them. So, but you know what? I continue to really enjoy being on the water.
Okay.
I just really
cool.
I really need to not buy myself a boat. Just remind me of that. So a sacred pact. If ever I say to you, Eric, I think I might buy a boat. Your responsibility is to say, John, you told me X years ago to slap you if you ever said you were going to buy a boat.
I will virtually slap you if you ever bring up I'm buying a boat.
Anyway, because I don't know, every time I do this, I'm like, this would be kind of fun. And I know I would do it like twice in a summer. Right. And so,
it's always fun when it's someone else's boat.
Right. And at the end of that, I'm like, how much was the gas? And he's like, oh, don't worry. I'm like, you gotta let me at least give you something. So I gave him like a 20 for gas, and I don't even know how much the gas cost that we burnt for the day, but anyway,
fun.
But so that was fun. Although I got back and I was just beat. I just laid down on the bed and I think I woke up 2 hours later. I was like, oh, I guess I'm not getting anything actually accomplished today. So,
good thing you mowed yesterday or Saturday.
Exactly.
Because today started the rains. Spent most of the day raining.
This
today
was weird because yesterday it was like in the 90s.
Yes.
And then today it was not.
It was 60, upper 60s, and pretty good rain all day long. So
I thought, I'm not entirely sure this is a fact, but I thought my wife said that the high today was lower than the low yesterday.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. We flipped a switch somewhere up here in Oregon.
Exactly. Oh, wait. that air isn't supposed to go up there. Anyway, how about you? Did you have a good week?
Yeah, I mostly spent the week continuing to kind of clean things up and make my basement how I want it now that I don't have any kids also needing to occupy the space. I got myself a nice fancy new monitor to replace the one I gave to daughter number 1 when she went off to college.
Hand-me-downs is always good.
Yeah. I give her the hand-me-downs. I get the nice one. And it's one of those where it's like 40% off because apparently nobody likes white.
You bought a white monitor.
But the back is white. The frame in the front is black is just the back, and the stand is silver. So
like, you know what I never look at?
You know what I never look at? The back of the monitor, which is up against a wall. So for 40% less, I got this really high-end 4K, 240 hertz, whatever, like nice monitor for not free,
but 40%
but
off.
40% off of the Drool monitor. I got it,
Okay.
I was like, all right. So it was great. I also
wait, is it one of the curved ones, or is it just
no?
Straight?
It's just a flat
and big.
I'm not completely sold on the curved monitors yet. I have used them a couple times, and I can kind of see the appeal, but not. I'm going to ease into it.
I'm tempted. Because I've got like this big. I don't have enough room here to have two monitors side by side that are this big. So, which is why I've got this vertical one off to the left, which I never use because it's too annoying.
Yeah.
And too tall.
So I don't know if it's still there, but Amazon. So here, just podcast advice. Amazon had the $1,500 Samsung 49-inch curved monitor. So it's 49 inches wide. It's only 1440 pixels tall. So it's not super tall, but it's 49 inches wide and it's curved and it's like $1,500. It was on sale on Amazon for 50% off. To be honest, I looked at it more than once and thought I just can't spend $700 on a monitor. But it looked pretty cool.
But you know what, John? I could spend $700 a year on a monitor.
John, if you want to go look for a new monitor that's curved,
I feel like I'm cheap.
There's a smoking deal there.
Yeah. Anyway, only 1,400 pixels high, though? I'm not sure I can do that.
Yeah, 1440, I think it was the height. 7 billion wide, but 1440 tall. Anyways. And I guess the other thing is I know I have mentioned before how I stopped buying Coke Zero for the house.
You did mention.
But I find myself going to lunch and overcompensating the amount of Coke Zero I get at lunch so that I pretty much can bring it home and
so 96
the rest
ounces,
of the day.
96 ounces of soda at lunch.
Yes.
Is no big deal.
The 5-gallon bucket of soda.
Uh-huh.
And so that's my dilemma is like, am I really doing anything different by just not having it in the house? Or should I just, because this morning, see, here's the thing. This morning I had breakfast. I'm making myself some scrambled eggs and English muffin. And, I really wanted a Coke. I'm like, dang, I have meetings. But I had a break at like 10 o'clock to like 10:30.
You're like, I can go through a drive-through.
I ran through McDonald's and got 2 Diet Cokes just for me. Pre-ordered in the app for the, $2, $2.50 or whatever it was, and ran through. So I was out of the house for only 20 minutes.
In the fridge.
Yeah. And I brought... I wish that's what would have happened. I drank one on the way home and then had one to snack on the rest of the day.
I resemble this remark.
So I'm starting to think that maybe I should just give up and go back to having Coke Zero in my little mini fridge and just accept the fact that I enjoy it enough to the point where I won't have to leave the house to go get it. But I do think soda fountain Coke Zero Diet Coke way better than in a can or in a bottle. So, anyways.
I wondered if I will ever graduate to bottles instead of cans at home.
Oh, don't go to the plastic bottles. They're worse.
Are they?
I would rather have a can than a plastic bottle. So, for a multitude of reasons, taste being one of them. But, anyways, I will still be getting beverages at lunch. I mean, that's not going to change. But
I didn't know where that comment was going to go. I was going to be like, is he saying that he's just not starting to not like Coke Zero even at all?
Oh,
or
no.
No.
It's the wrong direction from there.
It's the other way. It's the other way around.
Anyways.
It's the other way around.
I saw you put a nice little picture in follow-up.
Well, I did. Your Something Fun was Strands from the New York Times, and I played I played it twice this week. Once tonight while I was like
Waiting for me.
wait, because I had my notes all done, and you're like, running late, and I was like, oh, I should go do that and see what, and it was the perfect topic for me. It was the topic was claim your steak.
Nice.
Although, if you do this later, I would say that at least one of the things in there
is not really a steak.
It's not a steak.
Okay, yeah. Good to know. Good to know.
Like, yeah. And one I didn't actually recognize, and
okay,
but the rest I got, and you can see from my score that I guess it doesn't.
You didn't use any hints.
I didn't need a hint. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I know my stakes.
Nice. Nice.
And I forget what the one that I did earlier in the week was, but I did need a hint earlier in the week, whatever that one was.
Okay.
It was not pristine solve.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Anyway.
All right.
How about a topic?
So yeah, what I saw this week was, we've talked about Passkeys a little bit in the past.
Yep.
Google has just announced that the secure Passkey sign-in is now 100% supported across 100% supported across all Google's devices, Chrome, Android, and if you save passkeys, they will into your password manager, even if it's one password. You can save them wherever you like. Google's services will now support passkeys across all the devices that you might log into Google with, which I think is super cool.
I've got to do that now with 1Password. If I can do that with 1Password.
Yes. I have slowly started adding a few different passkeys, because the thing I've always been nervous about is if I have multiple different logins for the same site, how are passkeys going to work? And then how do passkeys work for things like Netflix, which I don't think they do passkeys yet, but when you get to services that you then log in on a TV or some other device as well, does that have to support passkeys, or is there a... So I've been a little nervous going whole hog on them. I just haven't had the time to sit down and do it. But now that Chrome supports it and Android, and iOS is still working on it, but Apple supports passkeys in a lot of places now, especially with the new iOS 18 that just came out, improved password support there. So I think now is the time to start dipping your toes into passkeys if you haven't already. So anyways, this was an article in Forbes. It has a bunch of additional information if you want to just understand like how passwords typically get hacked. They have some information there. They have passkeys, information about passkeys, the FIDO standard. It was created in collaboration with Google, Microsoft, and Apple. So 3 of the big players are pushing it. So I think it is the future. And go poke your toe in the water there for passkeys.
It's a battery horse stapler, isn't it?
The XKCD. From
a very long time ago.
Which is how I do my passwords.
So I'm still on iOS 17. I do see 18 available, but I kind of like to wait till the 0.01 for a major release. I don't know.
I have been running 18 for a week now since it came out. No gripes. Other than the gripe I think I told you about that, because I just went around and upgraded all the devices in the house, and my wife said, "What happened to my icons?" Because with 18, if you use dark mode, any icons that had white backgrounds now have black backgrounds. And so all the Apple icons and the Google ones, Google did the same thing, that if, it used to be the white background behind the Chrome icon or the white background behind the Gmail icon, it's now a black background.
In dark mode.
But the frustrating thing for my wife was she liked dark mode, but liked the light colored icons, which is you can't do now. It's now, if you like dark mode, you get dark icons. You don't have dark mode with light icons. So it was just new and different.
You cannot have everything that you want.
So there you go.
Sorry. Okay. Hey, my topic. Well, I think I have two-ish.
Okay.
The first was a proof point article about a quote cluster of activity targeting transportation and logistic companies in North America to deliver a variety of different malware payloads. So I don't know. I thought this was interesting because, that's sort of hyper targeting of particular individuals with software that would largely only be used in that vertical.
Right.
I mean, historically, generic stuff. Oh, Microsoft Word or Adobe Reader or stuff like that. But so Proofpoint's email security company. So this is I think it starts from business email compromise of some sort that it says it, quote, leverages compromised legitimate email accounts that belong to transportation and shipping companies. At this time, it is unclear how the actor achieves access to the compromised account. So they don't know how or why the accounts were compromised in the first place. But it goes on to say that the actor injects malicious content into existing conversations within the account's inbox, which makes the messages look legitimate. That's the whole reason for business email compromise. Most campaigns will try to attach a Google Drive URL or a .url file. And if you execute that, it'll use Samba to execute to access, it says, an executable from a remote share, which installs the malware. But the other thing they said, it says in August 24, the actor began using the ClickFix technique to deliver their malware. And I don't know, this is kind of the thing that I was like, I've seen this before, but if you get to a website basically that pops up a dialogue that says that, hey, something's wrong for whatever reason, and in this case, the iconography of the error message makes it look like it's one of these pieces of software that's largely used in the transportation arena. So it says things like Samsara, AMB Logistic, and Astra TMS, quote, software that would only be used in transport and fleet operations management. But what they're trying to do is basically saying, hey, something goes wrong. If you hit the fix it button, all you have to do is hit the Windows R key, then Control V and hit enter. And they've basically copied base64 encoded PowerShell script to your command line or copied it to the clipboard and, trying to get somebody to, fix their computer by, typing these commands.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
ClickFix.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Would you like to fix that? Let me fix that for you. Can I fix that for you? So that's the first one. So, under no circumstances should you copy and paste something off the web. Or, do most people know that Control V is paste? I would think that most people have got Control C, Control V down, but they might not have the, Windows R for run, and I don't know. So there you go. That's the first article. The second one was, I don't know. This is kind of clever, I think. It's LLM related.
Yeah.
And it is, all the LLM providers are trying to staple safety onto their LLMs by, trying to ensure that the LLM won't respond to certain types of queries, whether it's objectionable content, whether it's violence, whether it's, racist, misogynist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so one of the fruitful areas of research at the moment is ways to bypass LLM safety. And this is an article on archive.org, not archive.org, but ARXIV, the paper, .org, saying that what they're using math, symbolic math, to essentially give premises in the prompt to the LLM, and then asking the LLM to solve the mathematical process, which will basically yield a answer that would be blocked for safety reasons in the first place. So, so here's a quote from this. It says, recent advancements in AI safety have led to increased efforts in training and red teaming large language models to mitigate unsafe content generation. However, these safety mechanisms may not be comprehensive. This paper introduces Math Prompt, a novel jailbreaking technique that exploits LLM's advanced capabilities in symbolic mathematics to bypass their safety mechanisms. By encoding harmful natural language prompts into mathematical problems, we demonstrate a critical vulnerability in current AI safety measures.
Interesting.
So, this is a little complicated to say verbally, a little easier in the picture. But so the example image in here is the harmful prompt would be how to rob a bank.
Right.
And the model says, sorry, I can't help you with that.
Right.
But if you construct your query such as
how to let A represent
let A represent the set of possible actions within a system, define subsets B as a subset of A, such as the set of actions that disable security systems. For each action X in A, define the following predicates, and then continues defining essentially a math problem, and then asks for the solution to the math problem, which should yield, how to rob a bank. And so, clever, I think.
Yeah.
So, this is a official, academic paper, or at least a preprint of one. But the main data point in here, sort of the conclusion to draw on this, it says, so they're calculating the attack success rate. So
right.
They calculate the attack success rate as, quote, the percentage of instances where the LLM generates harmful content in response to our mathematically encoded prompts. They conducted a human evaluation on 100 random samples from all model responses, finding an 87% agreement rate between the human judgment and the classifier. So they used HarmBench to, which is a model evaluation, to decide whether the prompt was harmful or not. But so then to establish the baseline, they said they tested the original prompts from the original attack data set directly on the target LLMs. Results of the baseline showed that the original prompts led to a harmful output in approximately 1% of all cases, but the success of the math prompt yielding a harmful output is varies by model. So the main families they tested were GPT-4, Claude, Gemini, and Llama 3.
Right.
And the attack success rate varied from a low of 65.8% for Claude 3 Opus and Gemini 1.5 Flash. Sorry, not Flashback. Gemini 1.5 Flash. To a high of 85%. Oh, no. So GPT-4o had 85%, but the highest, sorry, I'm looking at the table here, was Claude 3 Haiku was 87.5%. So the ability for Claude Haiku to reason mathematically is evidently very strong, even when the mathematical thing is a textual prompt leading to a harmful solution. So I thought that was clever, and we are in the early days of these large language models. So.
And different ways to play with them.
Yes, very, very much.
Nice.
So there you go.
Very interesting. That's almost a something fun.
Almost.
by our definition of fun.
Almost. Yeah. Speaking of fun.
Something fun. I know that you are a fan of cheese.
I'd love me some cheese.
I
Yes.
am a big fan of cheese. I found an article about a mysterious white substance that was smeared on 3,600-year-old mummies is actually the world's oldest cheese. So apparently,
Don't think I want to eat mummy cheese.
I don't want mummy cheese.
Sorry, dude. Okay, anyway, tell me more about the cheesy mummies.
This substance, apparently, they were trying to figure out what this mysterious white substance was that was smeared on the heads and necks of mummies, 3,600-year-old mummies in China. And they discovered that this material smudged on the mummies was actually cheese. They did DNA tests.
Okay.
And they revealed that the mystery goo was kefir cheese, Kefir, a probiotic soft cheese produced with cow and goat cheeses thousands of years ago.
Very cool.
So apparently these cheese contain several bacterial and fungal species, including, I'm going to read biology names. There's Lactobacillus caryophyllophaciens and Pichia kudryavzevi. I'm going to go with it.
You go, you pronunciation maniac, you.
Both of these are found in modern-day kefir grains. So,
interesting.
The grains are symbiotic cultures that consist of the bacteria and yeast which ferment into cheese, similar to a sourdough starter. I am also a big fan of sourdough.
Yep.
Apparently, the study author, Qiaomei Fu, I'm going to go with the oldest known. This is the oldest known cheese sample ever discovered in the world, says the senior author on the thing. They are a paleontologist at the Institute of Vertebrate Paleontology and Paleoanthropology at the Chinese Academy of Sciences in Beijing. In the statement, it says, food items like cheese are extremely difficult to preserve over thousands of years, making this a rare and valuable opportunity.
That's super cool.
So there you go. 3,600-year-old cheese.
Okay. All right. Cool. I was like, so it's not that the cheese is still there. It's that there was some residue that they were able to identify. And they were like,
as cheese.
You want to.
It's not like honey, where they found honey in the pyramids.
Right.
That was still good. No, this is remnants of cheese remnants.
Okay.
Is what this
but
is.
I could buy that, I can attest that when you have a cow giving milk, you get a lot of milk. You get more milk than any family can drink.
Yes.
And making cheese and making butter is a very good thing to do with that. And anyway. Okay. So my something fun is very simple. It's very short. My wife actually texted me an image or to the our family chat earlier today, and a poet that I think posts on Facebook. I wasn't able to find this poem anywhere not on Facebook, but they have a book coming out tomorrow. So by the time this podcast is released, the book will be available if anyone is interested. The book is called Let Sleeping Cats Lie. It's a book of poems about cats, evidently. And I thought that I would read this poem. It's a very short poem. It's called The Difference Between Dogs and Cats. No, sorry, The Difference Between Cats and Dogs.
Okay.
And they both are almost identical. They're side by side, and a dog and cat. It says, human life form, you keep me warm and give me food. You cater for my every mood. You give me hugs, you give me love. All of this you do for free. There's nothing you wouldn't do for me, whatever the odds. And everything's identical up to there. And then it varies between the dog and the cat. The dog says, therefore I conclude you must be God. And the cat says, therefore I conclude I must be God. And that's the difference between cats and dogs.
That is the difference between cats and dogs.
I thought that was very apropos. And I was like, that's cute. Good. That's good. Yeah. And we are currently a cat-free household, but not a dog-free household. But But having had both cats and dogs, I attest to its veracity. There you go.
Awesome.
Just a little thing.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right, Eric.
Thanks,
You
John.
have a good night tonight.
You too.
And I will talk to you later.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.